Musician Tim McGraw.
Wait.
I know. They are co-authors of the new book, Songs of America, Patriotism, Protest, and the Music That Made a Nation. It's out today. Mike Barnacle is also with us for this conversation, along with two sons of the South, Walter Isaacson and Eddie Glaude Jr. And the biggest country music fan at the table is Kurt Bardella.
You know, I think one of the things that's so unique about this tandem here is, like I said, you have this great recollection and knowledge base to talk about the history of these songs, but what Tim brings, and I thought the Sam Cooke part of the book, I read it a couple days ago, was the insight that you offer as an artist, the risk that he took, being successful. This was, he's in his prime here.
Sure.
And you, better than anyone, understands what it's like. You put out Humble and Kind, which turned out to be one of the biggest songs of your career, but at the time you may not have known that.
Sure.
And taking that artistic risk, putting your professionality on the line to make a statement about where we're at in society at this moment in time, and that being able to bring that into the story that you're telling about Sam Cooke in this case, I thought shows and illustrates how great this tandem is going to be as you read the book.
Well, I think it's a theme that we found throughout the book with these songs, even the songs of protest. There was always hope involved. You know, Sam Cooke says, "I believe a change is going to come."
A long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
That's about hope, right? And like I said earlier with the John Dickinson song, "Our children share the fruits of our pain," that's about hope.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome. It's about hope. And I think that's the thing that we ended up finding at the end of the book. We go through all the pushes and the pulls and the inflection points of our country and the things that happen, and you realize at the end of it, look, we're still pretty great. And we've had issues all the way along, and we will continue to have issues. In order to form a more perfect union means we're never going to get there. We're always working towards. And my stepdad drove an 18-wheeler hauling cottonseed across Louisiana and Texas. So my earliest memories were 4, 5, and 6 years old in an 18-wheeler hauling cottonseed across the South, listening to 8 tracks of Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard. So those songs are ingrained in me, and they are something that it's the first time Johnny Cash and certainly the Dylan songs and Peter, Paul and Mary, the songs from the 60s, or the first time as you're listening to music and as a child where I understood that music was more than just entertainment. It crossed my mind because you're still hearing those songs of the 60s and in the early 70s. And it's the first time that I put together that music can mean a whole lot more than entertainment, that it has something to say and it causes you to reflect and it causes you to think about what's going on in your society.
Because you write about it in that section, in that memory of, in the cotton, but you have in my heart, when I hear that song today, I think one thing, but then my mind kicks in. And then my mind kicks in, and it takes on a whole different context.
Well, absolutely. People don't know. John can speak to it probably more eloquently than I can, but people don't realize that song was written right here in New York City for blackface performers. And it was written for white people in blackface to talk about how black folks wish they were still slaves in the South. And people don't realize that. And being a white Southern kid from Louisiana and hearing that song and growing up in the middle of cotton fields, it's an emotional reaction to me to hear that song because I grew up hearing it. But then, like I say in the book, my head kicks in and I realize what that song is and what it's saying. And it's clearly a song that makes you think that it's not exactly what it's about.